Hey, remember me? It's Greg from Baseball and Whatever. How are you doing? Hey, that's great. We should do that sometime. Before we get this episode started, let me tell you about Belly Up Sports. Why, it's only the finest source to get your news on the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, fantasy sports, and more. Whether it's through forums or articles, or their extraordinary podcast network, Belly Up Sports has you covered. They are the Internet's sports bar. Visit bellyupsports.com and follow them on all social media platforms. I hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome to Baseball and Whatever with your hosts, Justin McAwee.
Because I was on campus and I had to appear like I was one of the cool kids, I would put the Star Wars book inside one of my textbooks so it looked like I was just studying for class.
All right, look. There's only one return, okay? And it ain't of the king, it's of the Jedi.
Greg Probst.
If you look at most Bond fans movie rankings, they have Casino Royale and Majesties in their top two. For me, these actually rank in the bottom part of my list. I mean, I love them, but they don't compare to Diamonds Are Forever.
Stop getting Bond wrong!
And Vincent Francis Jankowitz IV.
I'm a glorified fact checker.
Last I checked, the most runs in a game wins.
Actually, I am a fact checker.
Hey everybody, it's Justin. I got Vinnie. I got Greg. We are back with episode 46 of Baseball and Whatever. Thank you again for tuning into the show. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Take a seat, relax, get comfy. We are going to talk about baseball. Oh boy, do we have a lot of baseball to talk about, because that is the name of the show. And then our whatever topic for this week, our second segment, is we're going to dive in. We got a bunch of listener feedback, and we're going to talk remakes we liked, both movies and TV, and remakes we hated, which I think the general consensus is most remakes are awful. So we will talk about those today. We'll listen to the people that wrote in. We'll share those. Also, if this is your first time listening, we are pretty much a baseball and sports focused podcast for the first half, and then we stop and we get into our whatever topic, which is anything with movies, TV shows, video games, top 5 lists, Marvel superheroes, DC superheroes, Bond, James Bond, Star Wars, you name it. If it's nerdy or geeky, we probably like it. So we are going to talk about it. If you would like to write into the show, you can reach us in a variety of ways. First off, you can hit the text line and voicemail line, which is 1-913-808-3278. That number again is 913-808-FART. Ooh, there you go. You can also tweet us at Baseball and What. You can hit us on the gram on Instagram at Baseball and Whatever. Facebook.com/baseball and whatever. You can email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com, or our official network email is baseballandwhateverpodcast@bellyupsports.com. You can also find us on Belly Up TV, which is a Roku app now available. You can download, and they have all their shows. You can see our beautiful faces. You can also listen to the Belly Up Live Radio. Our shows air over the weekend. You can check that out there. And if you want to watch us, the full video in full effect, you can search on YouTube for Baseball and Whatever. Hit subscribe, send us a like. We'd greatly appreciate it. So before we get started, we like to start off with the episode number 46. We have some famous 46s in Chicago sports, since we are primarily Chicago based. I will kick us off. The only 46 I can think of right now is Cub, one of my favorite pitchers, reliever and starter, Ryan Dempster.
There you go.
And now I'm going to retire because I can't think of any others.
There are a lot of good Cubs that had 46.
Yep.
Well, the most recent one I think was Craig Kimbrell before he went to the White Sox. There's another 46 on the White Sox right there. But the World Series season, Stropey was a 46.
Oh yeah, Pedro Strop. Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure the guy they traded to get him in Arrieta, Feldman, was also 46. Wasn't
I think
it?
you're right.
The guy they
Scott
traded?
Feldman. Yeah.
Then the other, I think they're all pitchers. The other guy I had was another I think he wore 46 for the White Sox and the Cubs, Jason Beret.
Oh, he was one of my favorites for some reason as a kid. I don't know why.
Popping up. Steve Traxel, like wore 46 all throughout the 90s. And then Hall of Famer Lee Smith. He's in the Hall of Fame, right?
I believe so, yes.
Was he in like the Veterans Committee voted him or something?
Yes.
I think those are the 46s for the Cubs. So
I believe you're right.
Did I miss any? Can't think of any.
Yeah, from 1963 to 1966, five-time All-Star Larry Jackson.
Larry. All right.
Yeah.
But
that was it, though. You got everybody else on my list.
Okay. Well, was Larry Jackson a pitcher?
I don't think so.
He was an all-star, though.
He was an all-star 5 times.
5-time all-star. That's pretty damn good. So we should be hearing more about Larry Jackson. For the White Sox, I had a couple names here. I brought up Kimbrel and who's the other guy? Beret, right? The World Series season, 05, Neil Kotz, I believe, was 46.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then
yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
Do you guys know who Neil Kotz was traded for on the Cubs?
He was I
know this one.
Oh,
that's why I'm asking, because if I didn't know, I wouldn't ask.
They got him from Texas, right? Or is that wrong?
Who? Neil Kotz?
Neil Kotz, yeah.
The Cubs and Sox traded each other to get.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Cubs gave somebody gave a relief pitcher in exchange for Neil Kotz as a relief pitcher.
Oh, I feel like I should know this. I don't know. No.
That would be the one and only David Aardsma.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
50.
Yeah.
He's a 53. I remember
yes,
that.
He is.
He was also like the first player in the baseball encyclopedia because he was like double A to
double A.
Yep. It off. So,
you got it.
Speaking of White Sox relievers, my man Sergio Santos was 46. And then this guy wasn't technically a 46 because he never made the team, but in spring training when they brought in Brad Penny to try and be like the 5th star. You guys remember Brad Penny?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Former
pitcher.
Marlin. Yeah.
Former Marlin. Yeah. Former All-Star too. But he never made the team, but they gave him 46 in spring training. I was like, I wonder if Brad Penny's going to make the team. And he didn't, probably right. So, because he was also like 300 pounds by then, but throwing 80 miles an hour. But that was it. I think that I can't think of any other 46s.
Greg, I'm disappointed. I had 2 on my list here. You didn't get. Ron Nova.
Ivan Nova? Yeah.
Was that 2018, 2019?
Yeah.
Starting pitcher? Yeah. Forgot about him.
Howery.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. See, I know Bob Howery is 62. I don't remember him wearing 46, but
well, he
probably
did.
Yeah,
1 year. So.
Oh, man.
Those are the only other 2 big names.
I like Bob Howery. Ivan Nova. Did he even... How many starts did he have with the White Sox? Know. Like 6?
Yeah.
The number 4 starter. For the Bulls, I don't have any. I can't think of it. Okay. I was like, Blackhawks, I have no idea.
A lot of guys I have no idea. But Greg or Justin, you got anybody?
I can't think of any. Usually 46 would be a number of rookies that get called up or rookies that break camp. Usually not very good players. I'd hate to preface that, but who do you got for me?
I got a list here.
Lucas Carlson. I believe he is a current prospect. Jury's still out on him.
Colin Frazier.
He was a part of the 2010 Stanley Cup team, went to LA, won another Stanley Cup with them. He was a 4th line guy. Really gritty guy, I guess you could say.
Todd Gill.
No, it doesn't ring a bell at all.
Dennis Bonvie or Bonvie?
Nope.
Bonvie? Nope.
Bovine University. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Dmitry Nabukov?
No. No.
And Tomas Groneman.
No, I don't think these guys ever even. I don't know. I have no idea.
They ever get to put on skates?
They were really gritty guys. They
were extra gritty. That's how good they were. They were in the 5th and 6th line. All right.
So And then Bears. You guys got any Bears?
I have one, and I remember him
No.
from the whatchamacallit, the Super Bowl appearance season, because he celebrated with Devin Hester after he scored the kickoff return touchdown. Was I think he was safety, Chris Harris.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Good job, Greg.
yes, that's the only one I know.
That was a good one. I got Bruce Irvin wore it this year. Guy was a first round draft pick, came from Seattle. He busted out there, and they picked him up this year.
Oh yeah.
And then Artavis Pierce wore 46, running back. I don't remember what college, but that was a Ryan Pace, I think, draft pick in his 7 years here. And then from 1975 to 1982, I'm guessing this is Doug Plank, or I'm sure I'm butchering that, and it's like Palanque or something like that. But
I think it is
I believe he's French. It's Plon. The K is silent.
God.
I don't know.
It's Brett Favre.
Exactly. That's all I had for the Bears, and that concludes 46s.
46s. Yeah, I think our list will start to diminish slowly here.
Yes, very quickly, I believe.
Bulls don't have, I think, from 40s. They don't have like a couple numbers here coming up here. So
really?
Won't be any Bulls players. Yeah, unless they sign somebody off the D League roster for a 10-day contract coming up here shortly. But
we get like a 66
I'm going
or
to say
something.
we're going to be no Bulls in the next couple episodes.
All right. Well, let's jump into our texts and YouTube comments, emails, tweets. I even have a personal comment. Somebody in person told me. But first, we do have a few text messages, and they are actually from the guy in this podcast, Greg. Greg went and saw the Batman, and I'm not going to lie, I was checking my email through the day, and it was pretty funny to get live text messages from Greg updating us on his progress within the Batman movie. So, Greg, take it away. What did you write in for us?
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly read that. I'll let Vinny read all that. That was all pure instinct emotion stuff at the time. So,
all right, fair enough.
Okay, let's do my best Greg impression. All right.
Do your best. I want to hear it.
Oh, God. Now I'm going to butcher it. All right, boys. I made it to the theater. A lot of single dudes made it out.
And that is right. If I can say something really quick, as soon as I pulled up, I went to AMC Barrington. That's a theater. I think all of us have been there together.
Yeah.
We said, did we see? No, we didn't see Star Wars there.
I thought we saw.
We didn't. I think we
Jedi.
went to Schaumburg by me for the Last Jedi, if I'm not mistaken. Justin, you and I saw Spider-Man there.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But either way, I pulled up in the parking lot. And there was this one dude that pulled up in like a Ford Fiesta or something. And he looked like he had just come out of his basement. It looks like he sits in his basement and games and, does nerdy shit all day. He looked all scraggly and everything, but he was doing like this little Tony La Russa jog to the theater. And there was still plenty of time, but he was so excited. I'm like, that guy's going to see the Batman. That's why all these fools
a Batman
are here
run
right now. So, single dudes made it out. It was a pretty good turnout for the IMAX. So
good.
How did you know they were all single? Did they try to pick you up?
One did, not that guy, but no, I just saw him in there. I'm just like, yeah, they're either there or maybe they're just like me and then just leave work because they're sick of it and be like, I'm going to go see the Batman because I can't help it. So, but I doubt it. They have a different look to them. So.
Yeah. Then Greg, you texted in, it's time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, right.
It's time. Yeah, only 14 minutes of previews, not bad. So
nice.
I saw the Morbius preview. Not so sure about that movie.
I saw a trailer for it today, a commercial for it. Where was I? I don't know where I was. I don't know. Anyway, I saw a commercial for that. And I'm like, this does not look like anything I want to watch.
Did you see it, Vinny? Morbius?
I saw, I think, a little. Is that with Jared?
Yeah, Jared Leto. Yeah,
Leto, whatever his name is. Is that a Marvel?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
the Spider-Man universe, right?
Yeah, it's like the other. Well, even Marvel's all connected now and everything. But yeah, because like Michael Keaton Vulture is in it,
okay.
So it's got some sort of connection to the MCU.
That's right.
Yeah. I'll probably wait till it comes out to stream it. I remember first seeing that, I was like, I don't know where that's going. So
don't give Jared Leto your money.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
I just don't like him. Sorry.
Yeah, anti-Leto over there.
No, he's just
What's that 30 Seconds to Mars poster behind you?
Oh, shit. I forgot to take that down. Damn it. Boy. All right. And then
Greg, at the
final
end of
one.
the movie, Greg texted in and said, "Fucking awesome."
Oh my God, it was. Oh my God, it was so good.
It's killing me not to. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have went and saw it on. I had Monday off for Pulaski Day because it's outside of Chicago. We still get Pulaski Day off.
You still get Pulaski Day off?
That's incredible. I don't know why I didn't go see it. Erica was home. She could have watched the baby. I could have went and saw it with a bunch of other single dudes. And I'm not single, but
opportunity.
A bunch of single dudes. And I missed out though. Not yet. No, not yet.
Yeah, that sounds like a missed opportunity, Justin. You know what? That movie is 3 hours, and I didn't realize that until I went in. I'm like, oof, we'll see 3 hours of Battinson, but that flew by, man. And I was like, shit, I could use another 30 minutes of that. Actually, I'm in. So, nice. Surprises along the way. They really got Gotham City right in this one, man. It feels like a different really? Place. So. It's hard to compare it to like the other Batmans because it's like so different. So I don't know. You guys got to go. You guys got to go see it. I think you guys will like it. So
it's on the list. I will definitely. I don't want to wait until I think it's 45 days until it comes to HBO Max. I really don't want to wait 45 days.
No, I can't wait that long, man.
I do have my spring break coming up. Maybe I can go on my spring break.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe I'll do that if Eric is off one of those days. So yeah, there you go. All right. Well, let's switch gears from the text line. Let's go to our comments. We have a few. Greg, tell us what you got.
From a couple things on the YouTube, Moises Soriano. Is that like some kind of makeshift hybrid Cubs fan or something? Moises Alou.
It might be. If it is, that's a very clever way of doing it. I'm not going to lie.
Moises, if that's your real name, he goes, "Hello, bro. What is the stance, David Ortiz?" So I'm assuming Moises is asking what's David Ortiz's stance. And the video he commented on, he's looking in the wrong spot. He's looking at the old legend generic stances. Like you got to look at the former.
Yeah, I was going to say they have to have David Ortiz's stance.
Yeah,
in there, right?
He's also labeled because he's not like a generic, like an all-star 19 or a veteran 36. No, it's David Ortiz. He's in the game. He's under former player stances, column 11. So there you go.
All right.
Glucosamine chondroitin commented, our guy, Dr. Condom. I have an idea. Henry Cavill. What?
Cavill.
Which Cavill?
Cavill.
I don't know. I have an idea. Henry Cavill as next Bond. No, thank you.
Stop getting Bond wrong.
Thank you, Vinnie. Perfectly timed. Yeah, no. The Bond community is calling for that. I'm still not sold on that.
No, even after his work in Mission Impossible?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No.
Greg wants it to be an unknown.
I want it exactly.
Yes, that is well
I want it to be an unknown. So an unknown guy that's just like sitting at home right now doing a podcast on baseball and whatever sounds like the perfect kind of guy to me. So
Greg, you just want to watch the whole like Bond community freak out, don't you? You just
I do.
As the world burns, and
I was going to say that's Greg.
Do like that. Yeah.
Greg is turning into the guy that Michael Caine's Alfred talks about in The Dark Knight about some people just want to watch the world burn, like
Michael Caine's a little deeper. He's like, some people just want to watch the world burn.
There you go. You gotta make it sound like you got molasses pouring out of your mouth.
What was that?
It's from The Office. With
but that wasn't even close to doing the.
That was
I don't know.
Savannah accent.
Yeah, there you go. Savannah. Yes. All right.
That's better, Justin.
There you go.
And then I think he says, "Oh, that's cool. Can you do Swedish stuff?" "Oh, I don't know him. Swedish. What province is he from?" "He's from Sesame Street, jackass." Yeah. There's like 4 people that remember that episode of The Office that are laughing right now. All right. Continue, Greg. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Second comment from Glucose. This episode was funny. Justin's rant was hilarious. Yeah, it was good.
Thank you.
Justin also telling Vinny to watch the Snyder Cut a half hour for 8 hours cracked me up. Hey, man, that's like the only way to do it if you're going to do it. That's the way I did it. So, and I know we'll touch on that in a little bit.
No, I'm not making this shit up. I know what I'm talking about.
And then Justin, do you want to take the last one here?
Yeah, one of my coworkers, Dan, he told me, he goes, I saw you guys did an episode about Batman. He was gonna get to it to listen, and then he goes, did you see the new Batman yet? I said, no, I have not. And he said, you need to see it. It's arguably the best Batman I've seen.
Dan knows what he's talking about. Go with Dan. Dan's gonna want to go again.
Yeah. So Dan, thank you for sharing that. Man, I am so excited to go see it. And Vinny, I listened to last week's episode just as I was driving home to make sure everything sounded good audio wise. And at one point, I think you said we can't build it up too much for Justin because his expectations are going to get too high. Unlike getting too low.
That was via text, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I was in the text chain.
That out. Yeah,
the text chain. That was it. And I'm like trying to temper my expectations, but they're getting the better of me, and that's not good.
Well, I went in with just kind of mediocre expectations, and I left just kind of blown away. So I was like,
well, let's officially kick off the show, and we're going to do that with Greg's hot takes.
Greg's hot takes.
I thought you want to get nuts. Come on.
Hell yeah.
All right. Want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
All right. So we actually have quite a few. I almost said quite a few songs here. Quite a few ideas here that are getting Greg a little nuts, maybe a little excited. Greg, take it away. What do you got first?
All right. Who else lost their shit when Duel of the Fates came on? You know, Corn on the Cob.
This guy
popped on, and you're like, oh my God, it's back, baby. Dude, the Obi-Wan trailer, as minimal as it was absolutely amazing and perfect.
Any
wing.
The John Williams music is Star Wars, man. I think he's coming back to score it, but dude, it's back, man. I mean, he is just
it's a thing of beauty.
That trailer was amazing. And it was just like what it wasn't even 2 minutes. And it just, you just felt like you were right back there. What is it, 10 years after episode 3 or something like that? All of a sudden, Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi is back in our lives. As much as we rip on the prequel, look how we're just like drooling over all this stuff. So I am seeing, what is it, May 25th? I cannot wait. So a lot of interesting stuff. Really didn't give anything away. Shot of young Luke Skywalker right there, pretending to be a pilot. What'd you guys think? Vinny, I know you were I think you saw it first of all of us, I think. So that was
amazing. Like you said, it was awesome for the extremely short amount of time that we saw everything. You get the first look of the Inquisitors. They look terrifying. It's going to be great to see how that's going to play in. If it's just going to be Obi-Wan that you see, I'm assuming you're going to see something with another Jedi that they're going to hunt down, even if it's for a brief second, them taking them down. But I just thought it was great. Seeing young Luke Skywalker pretend to shoot his womp rats and everything like that, flying around. Yeah, I can't wait to see what else. And as you said, the score, as Duel Fates came on, it was just like, oh man, you got the chills and everything. Lost my freaking mind watching that.
So good.
It was great. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to watch it until last night at like 10:30 at night when I was running on the treadmill. Holy shit, that was really good. Like I saw your guys' texts and you guys were going insane, and I'm like, it can't be that good, can it? And watched it. The fact that they have the Inquisitors, I think, is really cool. As somebody who never watched any of the animated stuff, except recently watching it with the baby because she likes the colors, and it's an excuse for me to watch a Star Wars cartoon. Those characters are really cool. So the fact to see them on the real screen, live action, really cool. The character design of the one guy is like the Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor, yeah.
Yeah, something looks a little off just compared to the animation, but obviously there's going to be a change when you're going from animation to live action. So I will happily accept that. The music was good. The way they ended with Darth Vader's breathing at the end. I'm Darth Breather. That was incredible. The fact that they're not going to all be on Tatooine for every episode, I think is great because I'm kind of Tatooined out after Boba Fett. Thank you. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah.
Maybe that's Jakku. You never know.
Could be. Oh God, I hope not. I would take Naboo again over Jakku. Yeah. Like I'm really excited. It definitely full blown, ready to go. I thought I was good. I had my Star Wars fill for a while after Boba Fett, and I need more. I'm ready to go. Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm ready. So,
did you guys catch that scene? It's towards the middle end. It's on a different planet, but it's the one female Inquisitor. It looks like she's confronting someone with a kind of like a blank figure with holding a blaster.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Is that a Han Solo thing happening right there? You guys into that?
The vibe I got was that would have been Obi-Wan in not being able to carry on his lightsaber because they're lurking for Jedis. That was my take, but I guess I could see it being Han Solo.
Watch it again.
He's in an alleyway and he's got his blaster drawn.
Not as clumsy or random as a blaster. So
this is a weapon for a more civilized time. Yes, yeah. No, I'm excited. May cannot get here soon enough. I'm ready to watch it. So, yeah, good call. What else you got, Greg?
Okay, so something not so exciting, except for maybe one game Justin is definitely going to buy and sit on his shelf. But PlayStation Sony State of Play came out with a bunch of random ass games. But let's talk about the one you're into, Justin, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for that. No, I did not watch it because I was at work. I was driving home, but I kind of caught the highlights.
You didn't miss anything.
There wasn't anything that really caught my eye. The only thing that caught my eye is this Ninja Turtles collection, and it's like 11 games, but it's like the Game Boy games and the Nintendo games and the Sega Genesis games and Super Nintendo games, which I could play all of them on my little Retro Pi, but the thing that this kind of got me interested is the rewind feature. And a lot of those old games are damn near impossible to beat. So having the rewind feature and all the unlimited continues and all that stuff, would love to see that. And I think there's save states too. So I'm either going to buy the physical copy, or it probably would be smarter to buy the digital one because I'm not going to want to get up and
physical media. It's the way to go.
I like looking at things on shelves. I'm not gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I will definitely pick that up because I am a Ninja Turtle nerd. So
yes, you are. And there was nothing else on that. There was Ghostwire Tokyo or whatever that is. There was a lot of hype around that. It doesn't look so good.
If it's on sale. I do have sitting upstairs next to my computer. I have the Gran Turismo 7 still in the plastic wrap.
Oh my god!
I had a bunch of Target gift cards I'd gotten last year, and I bought it because I'm excited to play it. And it's been sitting there since Tuesday now, so hasn't even been installed yet. But maybe over spring break. That's my goal. Play it over spring break. So
you know what this is? You are Simba right now, and you are looking in the magical pond, and you know who you see? You see me in there. I'm Mufasa.
So
I live in you.
Oddly enough, though, this weekend Maddie was very content just sitting on my lap, and then she took a 4-hour nap. So I finished Resident Evil Village. I beat Resident Evil Village this week.
Wow.
So, Eric got me that for Christmas, and she's like, "Oh, you haven't beaten it yet?" I said, "No, we have a child. When do you think I play video games now? She's always around. The baby's always around." Highly recommend if you're a Resident Evil fan. It's definitely up there.
You played in the daytime, right?
Oh yeah, no, I don't play that at night. That's too scary.
You know, this is my comp for that. It's like sticking with Batman. You're like the mobsters. You know, they're too afraid to meet at night because Batman's out there, so they have to meet during the day, and Joker infiltrates their kitchen meetings and everything.
That goes back to me not wanting to play the original couple of Resident Evils for PlayStation 1 when I was a kid at night because I was afraid I'd have nightmares. Now I'm 34 I could very easily play the game now. I'm not going to have a nightmare, but why break, 25-year-old tradition? So
you never know. If you start playing at night, maybe you'll start having nightmares.
That's right. I told you about how when I play zombie games, Erica wants to take a nap so that she can fall asleep and have zombie nightmares.
You have said that.
What is wrong with you? Anyway, I digress.
Interesting.
The trick to do with the baby to play video games is you get your swing out there, you put the baby in the swing, let it go, baby falls asleep in the swing, and then you can play all the video games and then take a nice long nap. I
took a nap too. Yes, I did.
Master class.
You don't take a nap; you play the video game.
Oh, trust me.
I think he's napping before the video game.
I am running on fumes this week, so we can talk more about that off air. But yes, yes. So no, I was very excited to get that done. I got a lot done this week while she was sleeping, and I wasn't. So yeah. Yes.
So Justin, you finished some sort of television program. You want to?
I did. Shout out to our guy Jack Lugo. If you guys weren't listening, Jack is a big Mets fan, especially 1986 Mets fan, and we had him on to interview him about the Once Upon a Time in Queens documentary. It was a 30 for 30 on ESPN, and I had watched a little bit of the first one, just to prepare for that interview and kind of get the gist of it. But I went back and watched the other 3 episodes. Holy cow, that was a really good 30 for 30 documentary. So if you have not seen Once Upon a Time in Queens, but you like baseball, even if you don't really care about the Mets, which I don't really care about the Mets, it was an excellent, just a timepiece of the 80s in general. And then just the destructive tendencies of all those guys. Like, I knew Lenny Dykstra was a tool. Lenny Dykstra is insane.
Yeah.
Like, full blown. Like, I looked up his record afterwards.
Yeah.
How that man was even eligible to be on the documentary is beyond me. Like, he has so many warrants for his arrest.
Without like a Hannibal Lecter suit on or something.
Yeah.
Like
with the grill over his face.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. It was very interesting to get Keith Hernandez. I have more of an appreciation for him now, because I always thought he was the pretty boy, and there's a lot more going on there than meets the eye.
He'll always be the pretty boy.
And then same thing with Darryl Strawberry and Doc Gooden. I mean, I knew Doc Gooden in particular. I knew he's still been having troubles. Like I was literally Googling all these former players to see how they're doing now. I think I want to say like even up until 2019, he's still having a rough go. He looked like he was fairly cleaned up for the movie or for the video documentary, which was good. And I know Darryl Strawberry seems like he's really turned his life around. I know he does a lot of motivational speaking and things like that. And I want to say he's tried to help Doc Gooden out a couple times, and it's kind of hasn't worked out, unfortunately. But phenomenal, and just the meteoric rise of the team, and then I think, was it Ray Knight was their third baseman? They win the World Series. They don't want to give him a raise. And then the next thing you know, he's gone. Like it really, not necessarily the Cubs did that as quickly, but just the quick, like the window to win is open. And then it literally just slams shut. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so excellent documentary. Highly recommended. So there you go.
Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was definitely very interesting. I've watched it again since then because I did find the destructive tendencies very entertaining, especially with Lenny Dykstra and just his ways. And my guy Wally Backman, so
he seems like he wasn't no saint either.
No, I got definitely not.
The only one that came away looking the best, and unfortunately he's not even with us anymore, is Gary Carter. As the catcher, like and I remember hearing about him as a expo when I had read about him, but I didn't really know his career with the Mets. So and then them also getting into how dangerous New York City was at that time period as well, like downtown.
Yeah.
Like I want to say lower Manhattan, upper Manhattan. I'm not quite sure how that works, but really good. Really good. So Jack's listening. Jack can tell us what part of Manhattan was dangerous. So
yes.
So there you go. The other thing I wanted to say, Greg, is I don't know if I'm blowing Greg's spot here, but our guy, Greg Probst, finished the Snyder Cut, and we'll have to save most of the
stop getting
That's just Vinnie saying, no, stop it.
It's like a soundboard Freudian slip.
What is this, amateur hour?
So like I don't want to spoil too much of the conversation because we will definitely have to save this for when we have our 1-year reunion show, which was all about the Snyder Cut. Greg, do you just want to give us a couple like takeaways, real brief takeaways, just to justify that I'm not insane, that it's actually a decent movie?
All right. Well, let me first off by saying let me mention that the theatrical release of Justice League, which I also watched, and I'll never get that time back ever again, is almost an unwatchable movie. I mean, that is like that's almost worse than Batman versus Superman. It is worse than Batman versus Superman.
Just got the chills thinking about it.
The Snyder cut, where I think, God, what did I left off on part 17 or something like that? But no, I was like part 3, so what, halfway through it, and it was slow, it was draggy, the dialogue was shit, it was boring, and then there was a turnaround. And I know we'll go into this later, but kind of like when Amy Adams and Diane Lane kind of got that scene in the movie a little bit, things started to turn around a little bit. And you know what? If the bad CGI aside, and just some of I still don't buy Ezra Miller's Flash. I just don't think he's very funny, or is he supposed to be comic? I'm not really sure what he's supposed to be and what kind of Flash he's supposed to play. But all that aside, the second half of it wasn't too terrible. I'll give it that.
Dare you say not too terrible could also be said as good.
It was entertaining. It was
just won't say good. Damn it.
It was entertaining. You know what? I'm starting to get Snyder's direction a little bit, and it did help seeing the Justice League and seeing the heavy differences in it. It is very different.
Yeah.
Even the film filter he used, whatever filter he put on the final cut, fits the movie a lot more. I will say this: I don't know who did the score for the regular Justice League, but the score in the Snyder cut is much different and very, very good. Needless to say, too, Henry Cavill, future James Bond, hopefully not as Superman, is probably the best in the Snyder cut. And I'm not just saying that because he barely has any lines. I mean, that could be part of it. But I think I think it's shot really well. I think Snyder's creative eye finally starts to work. I know I ragged on a lot of his slow musical, comic
the interlude
splash panel scenes. They'd work a little bit in the latter half. And the nightmare scene at the end was done pretty well. Like, I could use more of that.
I would take that.
Use more. Like, you could just cut out Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, just drown him in the lake, and then I think that's pretty interesting. And then our appearance in the end. I won't spoil anything for Vinnie because he will be watching this for the anniversary episode. Better start now because clock's ticking. So
mid-April.
Yeah, I know it's going to take a while. So
maybe I'll watch a minute a day. Will that get me to?
It's going to be so it's 4 hours, 4 times. It's a 240-minute movie. I need a 240-day plan. 1 minute a day, 240 days.
There we go.
We can do this.
Reverse order.
Yeah.
You know what though? Yeah, the second half I enjoyed it. I will say that I did. I don't know if good's the right word, but definitely entertaining and enjoyable. And I stuck with it. I stuck with it through the end. I didn't pause it. I just wrote it all the way out. So yeah, no, I'm glad I finished it. I'm glad I watched it. So I might even revisit it when we do the anniversary pod. So
all right.
Oh, wow.
Well, I will gladly take that you appreciated it. So that works for me.
Yeah.
That works for me. So
yeah,
I'll
it was
take
solid.
It.
It was solid.
I'll take it. All right. Well, we can start the sports feature of the show. Vinny, let's get into some baseball, man.
Baseball.
Welcome back to Major League Baseball. Sort of.
Taking a look at Chicago's two favorite teams and other happenings around the MLB.
And play ball we shall. There is no more lockout. This podcast will survive as a baseball podcast because we have baseball. It's back. Holy shit.
Can't believe
I didn't think it was going to happen. If Bob Nightingale and John Heyman told me one more time they were close and then pulled the rug out from underneath me, I was going to kill someone. So
what's with people giving, Bob Nightingale like credit for anything?
I know he's an ass. Why?
You mean Marcus Stroman? Your guy's new
The
pitcher.
only one. Ben Verlander also was giving him credit.
Yeah, I know. There were a lot of people.
Okay,
on
see,
Twitter.
I read Marcus Stroman's tweet as sarcasm. You guys think he was being sincere?
I hope he was being sarcastic.
I hope he was being sincere. If he was being sincere, I kind of lost a little respect for him.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the guy that likes to joke a lot. He's like a kind of like a uber positive type of person on Twitter. Yeah, I definitely don't think that it was sarcasm, unfortunately.
Well, that's disappointing. Well, if you guys want, I do have we won't bore with the details, but the CBA has been agreed upon. I believe the final vote for the players was 26-12. I thought I saw somewhere, or 26. Okay, so there was still a handful of holdouts there, but overall they got the majority. They won. Couple of key things is, once this is officially ratified, free agency will open immediately. So I am very excited. In the next 2 days, we are going to have a rapid amount of signings coming our way. And
I was hoping I took the over on the 5 before we started recording. I was hoping there was just going to be this slew right out of the gate. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but I think we can start to turn the hot stove back up.
Crank it up.
Start tracking these signings again.
All 4 burners will be blasting by next week. But exactly. a couple key things to take away from the deal. There's now an expanded 12-team postseason format, bringing 2 additional markets each year into the baseball playoffs. Couple other key aspects: minimum salary is now at $700,000, which will go up to $780,000 by the year 2026. We also have the competitive balance tax threshold. It's $230 million for this year. It will go up to $244 million by 2026. There's also another tax level added at $60 million above the base threshold. I believe that's called the Steve Cohen tax of the Mets, because he wants to win and he wants to pay money. And I don't think he really cares what these owners are throwing at him. So there's that. There's also a pre-arbitration bonus pool. There's now a draft lottery. Top 6 selections will be awarded via the lottery. The international draft, in exchange for agreeing to an international draft, they will eliminate the qualifying offer system for free agents. Thank God. I hated. We're not going to sign this guy because then we have to give up a draft pick. Thank God that is gone. Signing bonuses are now guaranteed for draft players. Couple rule changes. There will be a committee of 4 active members, 6 members appointed by MLB, and 1 umpire tackling different changes, such as the pitch clock. They are changing the bases to make them bigger, and the defensive positioning and automatic ball strike zone situation. Universal designated hitter, and players may only be optioned 5 times per season, which is interesting because I feel like there's a couple guys each year that they are riding that minor league train and bus, whatever you want to call it, back and forth to the big club. So I'm sure there'll be much more that comes out. Those are just a few of the things. I'm watching an autoplay video of Rob Manfred talk about the new deal. I need to close that before I vomit. Anyway, I don't know about you guys, but 2 nights ago, they extended the deadline, this arbitrary deadline. And then they extended it last night. And then it was 3 p.m. And they the owners at the last minute tried to throw in all this shit about the international draft, which could have been negotiated separately, was my understanding. And then, apparently this afternoon, somehow everything came together and we have baseball starting very soon, April 6th. I still can't watch any Cubs games on TV, but, whatever.
That's when you realize that,
Mark
still exists.
Shit. So, so I don't know. Vinny, what's your takeaway now that baseball's back? How you feeling?
Don't you have Apple TV?
Mm-hmm.
So you can watch at least Friday night games if they're on Friday nights.
Yeah, right? I suppose I could do that.
New deal. They put it on a streaming service instead of saying, hey, what about local cable? And nope, we're going to put it on a streaming service. So if you don't subscribe to the streaming service, you're screwed.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. Classic baseball. But I'm glad everything's back. The rule changes. I'm curious to hear what Greg's opinion is on those, but I'm okay with them thinking about it. Banning the shift, they didn't need to do it.
No,
ban it. But at the same time, I don't care.
No, I don't care anymore either.
I think it'll be fine. I'm not going to really notice it that much anyways. You don't really notice it anyways when you're watching it on TV, because you don't, unless they pan out and show all the fielders.
Yeah, the defensive alignment. Yeah.
You're never going to notice it. The bigger bags, I don't have an issue with that.
No.
I mean, I guess they probably if they wanted to make it safer, really, I feel like first base is where they have those collisions at.
They could have the orange base like in Little League.
I was going to say the
exactly.
Just have the orange base on the side, and then just leave all the bases the same size. You just have that extension there. So yeah, I don't foresee it.
No,
making like stealing more prominent, but maybe it will. I don't know. Again, that doesn't bother me. Pitch clock again, It doesn't bother me. I don't know what it's going to speed up the game maybe a little bit, but we'll see. But I'm just glad baseball is back. I feel like the international draft is kind of something that they've kind of needed to do for a while. That's unfortunate for the White Sox because now they don't get everybody from Cuba.
Not fair. Come on. That was our pipeline.
Their pipeline is done.
We had Greg, deals with the cartels to, get people out of there. So
George Costanza down there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Cubans hold out for the White Sox. So hold out for a trade.
There you go.
There you go. But yeah, Greg, I'm curious as to what your take is on proposed rule changes.
I think I'm right where you are exactly, Vinny. The first base made sense to me. I was talking with someone on Twitter on it. If they're going to extend any base, I mean, they say it's for player safety, which it's fine for me, I guess. I mean, to me, it just sounds dumb. I don't know why, but I don't care either way. But first base makes total sense. That way you don't get a guy getting spiked or, if there's a bang play over there, you won't get anyone hurt. But I would have been fine with the orange softball base right there. What the hell, But I don't even know how much more they're going to be, like 2 inches. So like 2 inches either side or something like that. I forget how long it's going to be.
That's a good question. I honestly don't know.
I'd like to know more about what ban the shift means. I want to know like the exact parameter. I don't know if that information has been released yet on what, or are they still trying to work it out on what they mean by banning the shift? Like, is that, 2 infielders on each side of second base? Is that infielders on the dirt? Is that outfielders, in a certain zone or something like that? I want to know the specifics of it by what constitutes the shift. What else? Pitch clock. Yeah, I know most people are for the pitch clock. Me, I just, that's where a little old school kicks in with me. I don't really like the idea of any sort of time or clock being used in the game. I like baseball being time free almost, but if it speeds it up, I don't know what they said, 14 seconds for regular bat and then 19 seconds for someone on. Guess we'll see how that goes. But it's all just fine. I guess. I mean, I don't really feel strongly about either one. Either way, I'd be fine with them, fine without them, I suppose. Universal DH, I really like. I like to see more hitters in the lineup than than a pitcher who doesn't give a shit at bat. And then, just as of recently, you guys saw me on Twitter, just sending out real nasty, mean, good for nothing tweets at people, just pure anger about anything baseball. And I'm glad I don't have to do it anymore. I'm really looking forward to, I'm trying to make that adjustment back into now following signings again, the hot stove, because that's really what I love to do in the, at this time. So yeah, I'm happy it's back too. And these, I got sick of hearing about all the money side and everything and just anything that wasn't baseball related. But thank goodness it's back. And I didn't think it was going to happen. I know they said they were close and I was following with it. I still didn't want to believe it. But it happened. So let's get these camps open and let's get these the slew of free agents assigned. So hopefully it'll be exciting.
Yeah, I'm super psyched. I'm really hoping this. I'm hoping it's this season. Knowing the Cubs organization, it will not be. But I'm really hoping they get that streaming platform up and running, and I will get suckered into paying $18 a month to watch Cubs games. I know that's going to happen. So We'll worry about that when the time comes. Vinny did just look up that the bases will increase from 15 inches to 18 inches. So to be honest, on TV, are we? I don't even think you're going to notice that really. I mean, you're thinking an inch and a half on each side may look a little bit bigger, but you know what? Fine. I honestly could care. I don't care.
You know what it is too. I don't think whenever you talk about, I don't know if this will be a result of it now, but when you're talking about a stolen base or a play to base, the size of the base never, comes into question. You're like, well, that play would have been different if, he had another 3 inches or something like that, or the base got in his way or something like that. So I don't know. Just be interesting to see if it avoids collisions. I guess that's the big one. So
yeah, I mean, it's just I'm excited. I'm like we were talking about earlier. I'm super excited for once free agency opens. Which we'll talk a little bit about that more with the Cubs in the Cubs section if Greg wants to mention anything in the Sox section. But it was so exciting to see everyone get so amped up on Twitter. Twitter was actually a happy place for once. People were jumping up and down about baseball. All the teams are posting all these GIFs and images saying baseball's back and we're ready to go. And, at least we'll have a good 5 years before they inevitably have another lockout, because I feel like it's going to be like the NHL. They're going to have a lockout every time now. So, but we'll see what happens.
I'm sorry. When they said 5 years, I was like, God, that feels like too soon again. I don't know.
It'll be here before we know it.
Like 5 years is going to be here, like exactly like you said, before we know it. So I'm like, oh, just enjoy this right now and maybe get started earlier next time. I was like, what's the next manipulation the owners are going to do? They found the loopholes and everything. They turned to shit again. So I hope not. But
Craig, how many White Sox World Series championships happen in the next 5 years before the next CBA?
Hoping for one.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 4. I'm like, whoa.
No.
Okay.
Give me one. I'll be happy with one. There's windows closing every minute.
That's what I said in 2017, and I'm not happy with one.
No, I'm good for one. I think this team, at least constructed right now, has got one in them. I don't know if any more or any less, but I'll be good if we get one out of this thing. I did hear a lot of Sox fans on Twitter too are all bummed because the farm system rankings came out and the White Sox are 30th. They're in last of best farm systems in all of baseball. I'm like, you know what? I'm not so pissed about that, because all the guys that, were part of the, when the Sox were on one of the top ranked farm systems, they're on the big league team now. Yeah. So that means the farm system worked. And the White Sox are contenders. So the White Sox are going straight for high schoolers right now anyway. Like if you look at a lot of their draft picks, they're all high school kids. So they're going to be developing them for a while, hopefully well. But I know that's kind of making Sox fans nervous and everything. Me, no, it's because we had one of the top ones, which is 2-3 years ago, and those guys are finally here and we're playing winning baseball, hopefully. So I didn't really read too much into that. So just hopefully we just got a good flow of players coming up the next couple of years. They develop into something. So
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be upset about that. You guys your window is open. You shouldn't be caring about what your farm system is.
Right. I exactly. It's like, that's
Justin and I, that's what we care about, because the window.
Right.
It's amazing how the roles have completely reversed. Like 4 or 5 years ago, that's how the Cubs had the best farm system, and then their farm system turned to shit because they had everybody up on the major league roster. Yeah. So
that's just how it goes. So our farm system is on the big league team, which is all you could really want. That's the idea of it. So that means it worked out. So hopefully it gets us one World Series. I'll take it.
Fingers crossed. All right. Well, anything about the Sox or Cubs we want to add? I know somebody wrote down, I think we got some Boog Shambi.
Yeah, I just want to give out a guy or shout out to your guy Boog Shambi, new voice of MLB The Show 22. Yes. Him and Chris Singleton, so Cubs and Sox ties right there. But I watched that live stream today, and I listened to a lot of the stuff he and Singleton did. And it's kind of interesting. They actually started this back in 2019, and they've recorded over 350 hours of dialogue.
Wow.
And over 45,000 lines. So Vasgersian's officially gone. Like I said, they started.
Oh, thank God.
He's been doing the show 16 years. Can you believe that?
Wow. I liked him to start off, and I just got tired of it. Yeah.
But they brought Boog, and I don't think Boog was the Cubs play-by-play man then. He was still with ESPN.
ESPN, yeah, because
they were both
first year was last
they were
year,
both with ESPN
2 years
radio.
Ago? Yeah,
I think so. But they were both, him and Singleton were both with ESPN. They did Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN radio. So I was listening to some of their stuff they did on the show in the feature premiere, and it sounds a lot better. They actually recorded live commentary as they were playing the game, so it had more of an authentic feel. And it does sound it. He's got a really great voice. He's got almost a perfect voice for the game, not that high pitched, whiny Vasgersian voice. But it's definitely going to be refreshing. I might actually play the game with the commentary on for the first time in like 6 years.
There you go.
So shout out to your guy.
Awesome.
Voice of the Cubs is now voice of MLB The Show.
Very, very interesting. All right. In terms of the Cubs. I guess the one thing, the news story that broke today that just angered me more so with the Ricketts family for owning the Cubs is that the biblical losses that were accrued during the last few seasons, they now magically have the money to buy the Chelsea Football Club soccer team, a Tom Ricketts story.
Lord, it's a miracle.
There we go. That money is just magically back. So you went from not being able to have any money to building a sport book on Wrigley Field premises, if I'm not mistaken, or across the street. I can't remember which. And now you want to be a soccer team owner. So, Tom, where is that money coming from? I don't understand.
Coming from his dad. Duddy,
yeah.
He's going up to Papa Joe. Give me some money, Duddy.
May I have some more, please? Yeah. I can't stand that, man. But anyway,
no, because was it TD Ameritrade? They had the sale to Schwab.
Yes,
a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, for $26 billion. So I think he's got enough money to buy a soccer club if he wants. So
yeah,
because it's $4.5 billion, I think, is what Chelsea's valued at. So. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I know, that club's in trouble right now because the
Russian owner, right?
Yeah,
Russian owner. Yeah,
the British government has put like a freeze on the sale. So I don't know what's going to happen with the club and how they're going to be able to sell it, and if he can't make any transactions, the current owner. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, just. Classic Ricketts, can't read a room. Let's go buy a soccer team and kick the tires on that. Why? You just came out 2 years ago and we're talking about biblical losses. Just stop. Absolutely stop. It makes no sense.
Such an asshole. All right. So I don't have any other Cubs stuff. But we'll have plenty more. Greg's got, speaking of baseball, Greg's got plenty more Countdown to MLB The Show coming up. We also, next Tuesday, it is locked in and confirmed. We will be meeting with, hold on, let me pull up his name here because it escapes me. Man, I'm losing my mind lately. We will be, where'd it go? Hold on.
This is going great.
Here we go. We will be meeting with, hold on. Sam.
I need it again.
No, we will be meeting with Sam. I believe it's Widerhaft of the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, the Cubs single A farm system team. We reached out to them to see if we could speak to somebody, and he volunteered. He is their lead broadcaster and head of media relations. So we're going to talk about on Tuesday. We're going to meet with him and talk about what it's like working for a minor league club, what it's like being affiliated with the Cubs, talk about Ed Howard and some of their other big prospects coming up, and then just also what they've been doing. They actually just recently did a huge thing. They did a Pelican rehabilitation festival where they signed up with some local rehabilitation clinics that do animals and stuff like that. And they rehabbed some pelicans and released them back into the wild. That was really cool. They also kind of had a huge media frenzy on Twitter last year when I believe it was their GM was offering to drink beers for people in their baseball bat glasses and then send them the glass because they couldn't send the beer nationwide during the pandemic. So we're going to talk to them. It should be a lot of fun. We're excited to have Sam on. So that'll be next Tuesday. It'll probably go up on Wednesday, hopefully, if I can get it done and updated. But stay tuned for that. And then we got some other stuff in the works. But before we move on to our whatever, we got to talk about some football news. So Vinny, hit me with some football.
Manures of the Midway, where the guys talk the pile of horse crap that is the Chicago Bears.
When you consider the other choices, manure is actually pretty refreshing.
All right. Let's start off with Aaron Rodgers. Who wants to take this one before I just say how much I can't stand that guy?
I will.
Okay, Vinny, go ahead.
Charles Barkley came out last week and said that Aaron Rodgers was the pretty girl that you had to make sure you told her that she was pretty just so she could, she knows how pretty she is.
Yes.
And that hits it perfectly because when the news broke about his contract, $200 million contract for 4 years, going to be the highest paid player, it broke in the morning. Then in the afternoon, the blockbuster trade for Russell Wilson was announced. And less than an hour later, Rodgers tweets out, well, the figures, the contract hasn't been finalized yet. I'm coming back, and the dollar amount that was reported earlier was incorrect. Well, okay. So, an hour later, he's got to get himself back in front of everybody because he was now overshadowed by this big blockbuster trade. It's just classic Aaron Rodgers, me first. The guy is just so full of himself. I don't get it. He's a great football player. And don't get me wrong on that, but off the field, man, is that guy a whack job.
I completely agree.
I remember, with all the things about him kind of being, kind of disassociating from his family and kind of the story was that his family was kind of really unique, I guess we could say, in terms of just their behavior. And oh, poor Aaron Rodgers. And the more you learn about Aaron Rodgers and the more you hear him talk, I don't think it's the family that's the crazy one. I think it's him. I think his family doesn't want to be around him.
They're both probably crazy.
Well, that could very well be too. But yeah, it's
fall far from the tree probably on that one.
That's true. But yeah, it's like, look at me. And I was shocked reading on Twitter and listening to a little bit of sports radio is that, and if you're a Packer fan, please write in and tell us, but there was a lot of Packer fans that were upset that they were bringing him back. And it's tough because like you said, Vinny, world caliber quarterback, world caliber athlete, but just all the baggage. And now the fan base has kind of had enough. And then when you're going to pay that much money and they were kind of flirting with like cap hell to begin with, weren't they?
Yeah. I think the deal, it's pushing their problems down the road. So when he retires, then they're going to be in trouble. So it's going to be hell once he retires. But yeah, I think the way they restructured it, a lot of people were talking, because I think they also tagged Adams too, which if they signed Rodgers to the most lucrative deal and tagged Adams for like $19 million, I don't know how they had any money to do anything with anybody else. So everything I heard is that this is going to be he said it's going to be a friendly deal, but I'm sure it's just going to be backloaded. It's just going to cause problems down the road. Once it's got to be like a 1 or 2 year deal type of thing where they're going to go all in this, next year or 2 years, and then deal with the cap hell that they'll be in year 3 and 4 if it's a 4-year deal.
So that'll be the time for the Bears to shine, is when they're in cap hell.
Yep. Exactly.
Once he's gone. And then they'll just draft some other franchise quarterback who will own the Bears as Aaron Rodgers does. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. The other big thing, especially for Bears fans in Chicago, is the Bears have parted ways with Khalil Mack. They've traded him for a 2nd rounder this year and a 2023 6th rounder. The Chargers are taking him. They will be taking on all 3 years and the $63.9 million left on his contract. The Bears still have a $24 million cap hit this year. But if I'm not mistaken, I was listening to the radio today. They were talking about they pretty much are scot-free next year in terms of money because I think the Chargers pick it up then. So, I mean, if you're looking, I think that kind of, to me, shows that maybe this rebuild is going to be a bigger thing and they're not really ready to blow the doors off this season, but they're getting their stuff ready, their resources ready for a 2023 free agency run, maybe. And And I think it also shows that they are going to be more willing to maybe kind of be a gunslinging team and just try and beat people by their offense and just hope the defense holds together, or they think Matt Eberflus is going to work his magic on the defense, which I couldn't tell you if that's going to happen. I have no idea, but I don't know. What was your guys' take on Khalil Mack? I know when they got him, I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to change everything. And now just as soon as he got here, he's gone and that's it. So I don't know. Vinny, what's your take on that?
Yeah, my knee-jerk reaction to the trade was, oh my God, they got fleeced. They only got a second and a 6th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick in the next year draft is usually a value of a 7th-round pick this year. So I thought it was just they got pantsed. But looking at the fact that they're taking the Chargers are taking on the entire salary, it's a $24 million cap hit this year, but they're scot-free going forward. That's huge. It kind of, and it also shows that, this isn't going to be try to reload and try to compete with the roster that they have. They're doing an overhaul. This year they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Unless a bunch of guys catch fire, a lot of the young guys catch fire. This is going to be a process. I saw something like they have $121 plus $1 million in projected cap space next offseason with this move. So they're looking ahead. They're planning ahead, which is something Ryan Pace never did because he would always trade away draft picks, and then they would be stuck. So it's, they need draft capital. He's a big name that got him something. It also relieves some cap space. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to be down on the move now. Looking at the move in its totality. So I think they did the right thing. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to make additional moves and maybe trade Robert Quinn. I don't think his stock can get any higher. He break it or tie he broke the franchise record for the Bears, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah,
the sack record. So Ryan Pace will live in infamy among the Bears records until that sack record gets broken. I'm excited for it, I guess. It kind of is a bummer because it does kind of say they're not expecting to compete for a playoff spot really, unless they kind of, like I said, they catch fire with some guys. So we'll see.
All right, Greg, you got any other takes on the Bears with all these crazy news?
Yeah, no, just pretty much everything you guys said. Getting back to Quinn, if Quinn is next, him and Mack are kind of like at their peak value right now, at least what you could get in return. Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, like you said, Vinny, a 2nd rounder this year, 6th rounder next year. I'm like, that doesn't sound so great. You would have liked to maybe get another 3rd or 4th in there along with that 2nd round, but they're taking on, they're taking on the contract, and like you said, their strategy might, they're trying to get some draft capital back and maybe put some more resources in the offense, which is sorely lacking. And then maybe the goal to bring Fields along is going to be to try and outscore rather than have a strong defense, which looks like it might be weak the next couple of years or so. And then, like you said too, Justin, maybe Eberflus, if he's this big defensive guy, maybe works with some of these. Maybe some of these guys, maybe Roquan Smith has a maybe he's been great, but maybe he takes on something a bit larger, and we'll see where they go. But I think the plan right now is looking at that O-line and wide receiver and trying to gain some capital within the draft back at that. So, and then, work on the defense later on, hopefully. And if you look at the Chargers right now, if Mack can stay healthy, looking back at Mack too, he's a phenomenal player. I don't want to take anything away from him, but what is he, 30, 32 or something right now or something like that? 31. Which is still like young. He's younger than all of us still. But in football age, that's pretty old. And I know he suffered from injury and he really hasn't. His first year with the Bears, especially that first game against the Packers.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
We were like, oh God, this guy's an absolute monster. But it just hasn't been the same since then. But he's still, the Bears are not the Bears are definitely worse without him. So it does hurt. It does stink, but it's like, yeah, we don't see them being a, like you said, Vinny, a Super Bowl, coming up this year. And this might be the last, true valuable season from Mac. So maybe it was time to flip him. So yeah, it kind of stinks, but hopefully that kind of, it's strange because the Bears is like the opposite move we've been used to. Normally we're giving away the draft instead of getting something in return. So, I mean, it does feel strange. It's probably one of the bigger moves so far. So, we'll see where it goes, and we'll see how that defense plays. But if we can get some guys on offense here to start scoring, I'm sure going to feel pretty good about that too. So,
yep. I'm just going to say one thing, that Khalil Mack will look great in those powder blues.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I love, man, those Chargers look great. That
Chargers team with Mack healthy, I mean, that can be they can be something serious because they got pretty good offensive weapons, and now someone to go with Bosa. So that's gonna be a team to look out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if Mack's healthy, who do you try and double team between? I mean, oh boy. So yeah, all right, well. Good on the Bears for trying something different. Can't fault them there. I don't know about you guys. I don't really have any hockey talk. The Hawks won the other day, like 7-3. So that good on them.
8-3. Come on.
8-3. Sorry. And the Bulls won, last night. They stopped that 5-game losing streak. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, that's about all I got for there. So we don't really need to talk too much about them unless you guys have more, but we can jump into our whatever topic. So, Vinny, let's do some whatever.
Now it's time for whatever.
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 Whatever you want. Whatever I want.
Whatever, dude. Irrelevant. Whatever, dude.
All right. I am going to officially hand the keys to the podcast over to Greg as Greg takes over the whatever segment. Greg, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Justin. Welcome to whatever baseball and whatever. We are going to be covering remakes of movies. And did we include TV in this as well?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Remakes that were good or that we liked, or remakes that were bad. And I don't know about you guys, more bad stuff.
Oh, it's way more bad.
A lot faster than good stuff. The good stuff was easier, or was harder to think of. But I don't know if you guys have your thoughts finalized yet. I want to kick it off first of all, and I want to talk about a remake that
I know where this is going,
and a remake that I love, and I introduce you back to the world of 007. So, starting off with a remake, and I get away with this one right here because this was technically a reboot, but it's also a remake because they made this movie once and they made this movie a TV special. I'm talking about Casino Royale in 2006. So this was a reboot of the 007 franchise. Of course, starring Daniel Craig. We all saw him in his press conference. He looked scrawny and a bad haircut. And we're like, oh, following up Pierce Brosnan, who's like a man god. This guy's screwed. Turns out he bulked up a little bit and put on a Speedo. And like, yeah, that's kind of hot. So either way, Eon gets the rights back to Casino Royale. I forgot who had it, but they got him back. They were going to do it but they did make a 1967 version of the movie with David Niven and Peter Sellers. It turned out to be a complete travesty, but it was still took several elements from the original 1954 Ian Fleming novel, which was his first James Bond book. They also made a TV special of Casino Royale in 54 with Barry Nelson playing Jimmy Bond, who was an American version of Bond. You guys know who Barry Nelson is?
No.
Okay, it's like the only other thing I know him in is you guys seen The Shining, right?
Yeah.
No.
He plays the manager.
Shining?
No.
Come on, man.
I was really asking you, Vinny. I know.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, yeah, I know Justin hasn't seen it, but he I forget his name, but he plays the manager of the hotel, the one Jack Nicholson's meeting with in the beginning.
Yeah,
that guy's technically the first on-screen James Bond. That guy looks like an absolute mess. But either way, Casino Royale came around and just kind of changed the scope of Bond. We got away from Die Another Day, where Aston Martins were turning invisible, and you had Halle Berry diving off like 700-foot cliffs in CGI, and you had the CGI Bond parasailing scene. So Bond definitely took a different grounded approach with 2006 Casino Royale. So with all that being said, that makes one of my favorite remakes of all time, although it's not the highest in my overall Bond movie rankings. It's definitely a great, great movie. Now, on the other side of it, a bad remake. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the movie Never Say Never Again.
No. Heard of it.
No, you've heard of it? So this was Sean Connery's return to James Bond in 1983.
83.
So this is so if you remember way back when, this is when Kevin McClory came about. He had the rights to make Thunderball. Never Say Never Again is actually a remake of the Sean Connery movie Thunderball. And he had the rights to this movie. Ian Fleming stole some of the notes they wrote together to write the novel. So he won the court case to get those rights back. He had the rights to make that movie. He couldn't call it Thunderball, so he called it Never Say Never Again, which was the idea of Sean Connery returning, which he said he would never do, but I guess never say never. That was the idea behind that. So Sean Connery shows up in 83. He has gray hair. He just looks, I mean, he's only like 50. He's like only like 49 or 50, but he looks like he's 70. So they make that movie. It's a take on Thunderball. It's just weird. It's not that fun, but most Bond fans pretend like they've never heard of it. So if you don't remember, it stars Sean Connery, Kim Basinger, Max von Sydow as Blofeld, who was actually probably the better one of the better characters in that movie. But then you got the guy playing M, who's just like this overly British guy. He's like, "Oh, do come along, 007." And Rowan Atkinson's in it. He's kind of like comic relief, Mr. Bean. So it's like kind of bumbling friend of James Bond. "Oh, Mr. Bond, you know, that sort of thing." So
interesting.
Yeah, it just wasn't a lot. It just wasn't a lot of fun. It didn't have any of the music. It couldn't use a gun. It couldn't have any of the Bond tropes. But either way, it was, most people liked that movie better because it was Sean Connery over Roger Moore. So never a big fan of it, though. So that is a remake that I do not like. So there you go. I've exhausted 20 minutes talking about that. So let me kick it over to you guys right there. So Justin, why don't you go ahead with anything that you like, that you don't like, remake that you hate, remake that you love?
I don't have too many remakes that I hated, but I also don't watch a lot of remakes because I feel like a lot of remakes are more of the horror genre, which is well documented. I am not a horror fan, seeing as I play scary video games during the day. But anyway, one probably the best in my mind, and I'll be curious to get your guys' gauge on this because I've never seen the original, but I know I've heard good things. And that's Ocean's 11. I love that movie. I absolutely love it. Such a great ensemble cast. Everybody has an important part to play. The way they kind of take you through the way that everything is done and how they demonstrate the heist after it's been completed. You just couldn't ask for a better movie. It's a great movie. And on top of that, the soundtrack to that movie is amazing. I remember I went to the, I think the statute of limitations is up on this. I went to our local library at the time and they had all the CDs and music and soundtracks and things, and you could rent them to listen to on drives and things. I would just take them and burn them and return them. And there's all these signs saying, "Please do not burn our CDs." Well, I didn't listen to that. I burned it. So I still have that.
Limitations is not up on that. That's a federal offense.
Did I say burn? I meant that I
Detective Bookman's going to be coming after you now. So
no, so I listened to it a variety of times and really enjoyed it. It just provided I almost said it provided this burning sensation. It provided this really exciting.
Man. You really
trying to get myself out of this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, but the soundtrack, it's like a really like modern up tempo jazz soundtrack. It's a really good soundtrack. It's literally just the music, the background music from the movie that they use. But yeah, it's such a good movie. George Clooney, I couldn't tell you. I don't really watch a lot of George Clooney movies, but he's so good in that. Brad Pitt is excellent. Matt Damon, Carl Reiner is incredible. Bernie Mac. Oh, I miss Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
You can go down the line, what's the guy from Friends that plays Ross and Rachel's dad? He's in it. I can't think of his name. That sounds horrible.
The actor.
He's like a classically trained actor, if I'm not mistaken. But like it's a great movie. So that is definitely one that was on my list as one that I love. Okay, I do want to ask you guys this question on where you stand on this remake, because I feel like the consensus is most people hate it. How do you feel about the remake of The Longest Yard?
Oh my God, that's on my list.
Okay, I liked it too. I love it too.
I
love it too. But I feel like lately, because it's Adam Sandler and the script is kind of flipped, that it's like, oh, it's garbage. It's not great. Which is it like modern cinema? No, it's not like this amazing piece of art, but it's a fun just pop movie to pop in and watch.
Oh, totally.
You know? So that's another one. The only other,
ready? Are you kidding me? Terry Crews,
Chris Rock. Speaking of Chris Rock, here's another one. I did not know this was I only have two more. I'll get through these and I'll let you guys take over. But I did not know this was actually a remake. And that is, do you guys remember the Chris Rock movie? Probably from like 2001, 2002. And that is Down to Earth.
I remember the movie.
So Down to Earth, that movie is actually a remake of two remakes. It is a remake of a movie called, hold on Here Comes Mr. Jordan from 1941, and a remake of Heaven Can Wait from 1978. So
know that.
Is it the best movie? No, but for some reason, I don't know if it's because I was in high school and I saw that movie a lot on cable. I love that movie. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy Chris Rock. I think the way Eugene Levy's in it. Gotta love Eugene Levy. Jennifer Coolidge is in it. Yeah, it's just another movie I like. The other remake I saw probably in the last 10 years, and it surprised me, I actually really enjoyed it, was the remake of Judge Dredd with Carl Urban.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a totally different take on Judge Dredd. I mean, I know there's comics. I've never read any of those, where Stallone's movie was more of like this arc. This one is literally just, he's going in to clear out like this apartment complex that's been taken over by goons and street gangs. And that's the entire movie, is him just going from floor to floor, taking out all these criminals. And then the movie ends. So if you're looking for a good action movie, it's a lot of fun. So that would be the only other remake I could think of. But those are the ones I enjoyed. I don't know about you guys.
Nice. Good call right there. I didn't see the Carl Urban Dredd.
Not bad.
So
it's not bad.
Okay. I'll have to check that one out. How about you, Vinny? What have you got?
11 was on my list. So yeah, Justin, that was a really good one.
Good one.
And I actually did see the original one with the Rat Pack.
The Rat Pack. Yeah.
Yes. And so spoiler alert. The ending to that movie, they don't get away with the money.
Really?
And I had seen the George Clooney version first, so I was expecting them to be a big twist like there was in this one that I didn't see coming. No, they try to smuggle the money that they stole out of in a casket. And so they have the money. It's in this casket, and from what I recall, they're sitting there, and the casket ends up getting cremated. So they're standing there at the funeral, and they're watching the casket go through the conveyor belt and get cremated.
Yeah,
and they're all just like hanging their heads, like, "Oh my gosh, they're getting money." But yeah, I remember bits and pieces about that, about how like they use like it was high tech during their time, but they use like infrared ink and stuff to be able to see when they shut off the lights in the casino to like move around and stuff like that. It was completely different from what they did in the remake, which was that whole trilogy was really good. I know the Ocean's 12 kind of gets panned, but I thought that was still a good movie. But the soundtrack in Ocean's 11, and I think Ocean's 13 had a better soundtrack than Ocean's 11, but they're both really, really good. I listened to those a lot on Spotify. But yeah, that one definitely made my list, and another one that was really good. But this one is one I've been watching recently with my son is Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey.
Oh, okay.
That is actually a remake. And yeah, I love that movie growing up, and watching it now, it still holds up. It's a great movie. With the voice actors, Michael J. Fox, Sally Fields, the cat. Yeah. I can't remember who the dog is, who plays Shadow, but yeah, they, that's a fun movie. And that's a good remake. I actually did watch the original, that one, and that's, I don't know. We started watching that one. My wife put that on thinking that's the one that he was watching. And it was not good.
When was the original made?
I think like
1980, I believe. Does that sound right, Vinny?
It looked a lot earlier before that.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a
50s.
Okay. There was a TV movie that says it was from 1980, but yeah, I think there was one from the 60s here too. I'm looking on IMDb. I'm trying to find who the hell was the voice of Shadow, but I can't find. Shadow's not even listed on here. Where the hell? Shadow's like the golden retriever dog, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Chance is, like you said, Sally is Michael J. Fox. Sally Field is Sassy the cat. Yeah. This is literally like they left. They left.
Uh-oh.
how do you leave one of the main dogs off? Donna Michi was Shadow.
Oh, okay.
Donna Michi. So,
and I was gonna say Elliot Gould was who you guys were thinking.
Elliot Gould.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, so those were my two that first, kind of came to my head. And getting to bad movies, there's so many bad horror movies.
Yeah.
I don't even know which ones to pick, but what was it? What was the one that I was thinking of? It just Footloose. That one looked terrible. The remake did.
I forgot about that.
That did look terrible.
I
never saw the original Footloose.
Remade. I didn't see it, but I don't see how that plays.
I lived it.
I didn't live it. The first one came out in the early 80s.
No, but I was in the play in high school, so.
I thought that was from something.
No,
I thought that was a lot. I thought that was like something, a line from something. I was trying to put together what that was from.
No, it's just me reminiscing. Sorry.
Okay.
Who's asking for that to be remade? I mean, the original was like shown during a time, when dancing all weird, actually stuff is forbidden. But like, I didn't see this one, but I don't see how that plays in 2011. How you can even tie back to that at all, but whatever. But yeah, that looked terrible, and I don't see how you can replace Kevin Bacon. So shame on him for remaking one.
That original John Lithgow is the preacher and the one that wants to ban dancing, which is fine. I hate dancing, so I'm team Lithgow in that movie.
You're really living in that universe.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
What other did you have any that you dislike, Justin? Any remakes that come to mind?
There was one I saw. I think it was Open Water. No, I'm sorry, not Open Water. Dark Water. It was Jennifer. This is great podcasting. I'll have to look up her name. I don't remember what her name was. But the other one that I saw was supposedly a remake, which according to IMDb was a remake. Was 13 Ghosts. You guys remember 13 Ghosts?
No.
That is one of the few scary movies I saw, and I just thought that movie was so dumb.
Was that the one with Monk?
Yes.
Monk?
Oh, and Jennifer.
Okay.
I kind of like that.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Jennifer. Not Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No. I'm sorry, not Jennifer. Shannon Elizabeth from Shannon Elizabeth and Matthew Lillard and Tony Shalhoub. Yeah. I remember seeing that, and it's just such a weird premise that it was this ancient house that they were gonna inherit, but it had all these traps, and as long as you stayed behind this writing, the ghost couldn't get to you, and there's 13 ghosts. I
didn't mind it.
No, it was harmless. I don't know.
I've never seen it.
I mean, it's not like it's nothing great, but it's a simple horror flick.
It's harmless.
There's more that are bad out there.
I mean, the only other ones, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I saw some of the remake of that. I'll be honest, I hate the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That is one of my least favorite movies. That and Grease are probably not Alice in Wonderland, Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. Those three movies are probably, and I feel bad because I know your mom loves like two of those movies. I hate all three of those movies.
Somebody,
I know
this.
I know, but Erica was watching the remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and
that's a Johnny Depp one, right?
It is, and I'm just like, what is he doing? Oh, Dark Water was the one with Jennifer Connelly and John C. Reilly. It was like a thriller. It wasn't very good. Yeah, I don't know.
That Charlie, that's a Tim Burton one. That's why it's all weird and everything.
Yes, it is. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big remake guy in general, but those just kind of stood out as ones that weren't very good. I never saw it, but I'm kind of curious. Did you guys ever see the Psycho remake with Vince Vaughn?
Yeah.
Was that any good?
Yeah. No, not really.
About as good as you think it's going to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like who? I mean, I guess it was. What year was that? 1998. So I guess.
Oh, I was going to say 95. It was 98.
I mean, I guess he was at a different point in his career, but
it wasn't like freaky. It wasn't like the original Psycho, which is a masterpiece. But
so Vince? Oh man, Vince Vaughn looks scary in these pictures. So Vince Vaughn was Norman
Bates. He looks more
Bates.
scary. He looks more scary in Wedding Crashers. So I just think of a Vince Vaughn movie. Nothing particular.
That's all you got. Yeah. So I don't know. That kind of, I always was curious about that. I've seen the original Psycho. I enjoy that movie. That's
a great movie.
Classic. So
I have a couple horror movies here, guys, and I've seen. So I don't know how you guys feel about this one. They're a little bit more recent, but the Rob Zombie Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You guys seen that one?
Yeah.
I went to go see that in theaters, and I came out really, really liking it. And then after a while, it just kind of diminished for me. I don't know why. I felt like it explored some interesting stuff, but then a little bit just got a little too Rob Zombie-ish for me. And I don't think it helped the fact that I saw the second one too that he did, which was kind of a take on the second Halloween too. I really disliked that one, but I don't know. That's one that's just kind of its stock has dipped over the years for me. Vinny, you've seen that one. What do you think about that one?
I thought it was good. I like kind of like the beginning story.
That I did like.
On Michael,
that I did like. Yeah.
Really completely opposite of the original Michael, where it's just like this, disturbed kid from this nice family where he's now in this disturbed and depraved.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that makes sense on why he's the way he is. And then him at the asylum, being treated and everything, and then he gets out. So I liked it. I can't remember the second one too well. I thought I saw it, but maybe I didn't. But
that one was really Rob Zombie. So I don't know. I saw the director's cut of the one he did based on the first Halloween. That one was just really weird. I mean, there's like weird rape scenes in it and everything. So I was like, I don't know, but
I'm out.
Just kind of stick to Michael Myers because I do like when he kills the guy in the shitter at the truck stop. When he's knocking on the door.
What was the guy's? I can't think of the guy's name.
Big Joe or something like that, or whatever, something like that. I remember that actors like Rob Zombie uses the same cast for every movie that he does. Yeah, they all just play different parts. I know his wife's in all his movies, but I kind of feel bad putting on stuff bad remakes, but it just kind of dipped for me the last couple of years. But like I said, when I first saw it, I really, really liked it. I'm like, wow, that was actually good. Another one I had on my list was the Peter Jackson King Kong. I know this movie was like critically acclaimed, but I hated it. Did you guys see this?
I hated it too. Didn't like it.
I didn't see it.
Oh my God, this was like Jack Black, Naomi Watts in this movie. It is so boring. And it's all CGI and like kind of like that mid 2000s bad CGI.
Yeah.
So I was just like, everyone loved it though. I hated it.
Isn't Adrian Brody in that too?
He's in that too. Yeah.
That was one I remember. remember everybody. It's like, I think, what year did you say that was, Greg? Do you remember?
2005.
Okay, so that would have been my senior year of high school, freshman year of college, and I can't remember what time frame in the month it came, what time of the year it came out, but I remember like everybody was getting really into it. Oh, you got to see this movie. You got to see this movie. And I finally rented it probably once it came to DVD, and I watched it and I'm like, that's it.
Oh.
This is what everyone's raving about. So I'm glad you brought that up. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was not that good.
It just wasn't good. I didn't really get it, but it was the name Peter Jackson, because Lord of the Rings. It was more the big name attached to it. So, but it wasn't a very good movie at all. So, and not one that I'll ever want to watch again, to be perfectly honest. So, give me Kong Skull Island any day of the week. But the last one I had, and this might be controversial for many, and I even think I saw one of these with you or with both of you guys. I can't remember, but I did not like the new It remakes.
You definitely didn't see that with me.
Okay, I thought you went to one of them. I don't know.
God, no.
No, so that was. I was just thinking of. That one slipped my mind. That remake.
Part 1 and 2. I like part 1 better, but I really didn't care for them both. I really like the originals with Tim Curry as Pennywise, but I did not like the newer ones. I don't know. I feel like I'm on the minority on that too. What do you got? You saw those, Justin, didn't you?
No, I've never seen any of them. No, God, no. I know Erica was excited for it because she's a big
with Erica,
It fan.
Yeah.
You might have went with her, and she's a big fan of the Tim Curry one. And I remember asking her, her takeaway was it was fine, but it wasn't great. It wasn't better than the original. And the original is just a TV movie, isn't it? It wasn't a movie.
And the original is great. I mean, and that's nothing. I mean, I just didn't really think it was very scary at all, or it was more funny than it was scary or dark, to be perfectly honest. So Vinny, did you see them, Vinny?
The original, or are you talking about
the newer ones?
You thought those were funny?
I mean, I thought they were more funny than they were scary. So
the new movies were closer to the book than the TV series.
Oh, okay.
I read the book in preparation for the movie.
Oh, okay.
And the book was fantastic. The original TV movie scared the bejesus out of me growing up. I had nightmares of Pennywise the Clown for a long time. The new ones didn't scare me as much. I thought it was, if I had seen that as a kid, I probably would have had even more nightmares and maybe needed therapy, because he looked a lot like creepier, like didn't look friendly at all. Just looked creepy to begin with. Like Pennywise in the TV one, like looked kind of friendly, and then he had the teeth and everything like that when he was gonna gnaw off a kid's arm or something. Where the one in the movies, he was just creepy, never looked friendly at all.
See, with me though, like because I know it's Tim Curry, that I can't distinguish the friendly whatsoever. I'm like, because I know he's evil no matter what. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a good point though.
But yeah, the movies were closer to the book, which I loved.
That's interesting.
So, I did like that aspect of it.
Okay.
I like the fact that they did it in two parts instead of trying to do it in one. So they had a longer time doing it. But I thought it was a good remake. It's hard to compare them because I liked both of them, and I feel like I'm in the minority because I think my family all loved the TV one more than the movies. So yeah, I would say that it's a good remake, closer to the book, but I do like the original one probably better.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know it was a closer adaptation, so I did not know that until you said it. So that's interesting. But one other one that I liked, I don't know if you guys saw either of this movie, but the Coen brothers remade the movie True Grit several years ago. And I saw the original with John Wayne. I saw that one as a kid, and it was pretty cool and everything, but it was very John Wayne-y, very heroic. And then I saw the Coen brothers one with Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon, and with Barry Pepper. It was really good. It was like the really gritty, dark Western. That was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that movie very much.
I have seen that one. I've never seen the original with John Wayne, but I remember everybody was hyping that new one up with Matt Damon and
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges,
yeah.
Thank you. And I saw it. It was okay. I just don't think I'm not a Western guy in general. But,
Me
it was
either.
fine.
Well, Western for me is like Red Dead Redemption, and that.
Yeah, I'll play a Western video game, but I'm not going to watch a Western.
But no, I'm with you. But actually, I thought the Western side. I'm like, this is. I think that I never read the book, but apparently that was a closer adaptation to the book rather than the John Wayne one. So
I just like Jeff Bridges in general.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
You guys have any more movies, or should we get to some listener submissions here before we close this out?
I got 3 more that I liked.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Dawn of the Dead. Did you guys see the remake? Did you see the original?
No.
The original. Yeah, the remake I've seen once.
Oh, you only saw that one once?
I only saw the remake. Was the remake from 2001 or something like that, or
2004? Zack
2004
Snyder directed that one.
What's that?
I said Zack Snyder directed that one, so you probably only seen it at least an hour. Are you doing
Did he really direct that run? Okay.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, I like that one. It took place in Milwaukee.
Right down the street.
Interesting. And the zombies in that one are 10 times more scarier than the original ones.
The
original movie, they're like in Texas in some like abandoned house.
Yeah.
And walking where it's like you can get out and run around the zombies.
Right.
Whereas in Dawn of the 2004 remake, they're running around, and that's just terrifying.
Yeah.
Having zombies run and sprint at you. So yeah, I thought the remake for that was a lot more. That was scarier than the original by far.
Nice.
That one's unfortunate because the guy in that one, in the original one, survives. They survive the house. There's like 6 of them in the house, and he ends up surviving. Yep. And he gets out and he gets shot.
Right.
There's like a crew that's going around taking out the zombies, and they mistook them for the zombies.
Yeah. It's like Homer Simpson with Ned Flanders,
Right?
Oh, he was a zombie.
Poor bastard.
Right. I know.
But I enjoyed that one, and then 2 more real quickly here. Scarface, the one with Al Pacino, was absolutely. It was a remake. I forgot. I think the original one took place in like the 40s or 50s. But yeah, obviously that remake's just a classic. That movie is, and then Father of the Bride was a remake.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I like that movie. That's a good movie.
I'll take. Yeah, I can't believe that it would come close to that movie because that's a very good movie.
Yeah, Steve Martin and Martin Short, I'll take any day. I love those two.
Good stuff.
All right, listeners.
Shall we get to some listener submissions? Shall we kick it off?
Sure.
With our man Pretzel Vince.
Hey everybody, an old man's talking.
So Pretzel Vince really put in some effort into this submission. He wrote best remake movie. Dun, 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 dun. None.
Come on, man.
He doesn't like any remade movie, so I'd say that checks out. That checks out.
I don't think so. I think he probably. Well, I don't know. He would probably say for just to say that he doesn't like a remake, but I would say that he would like the Ocean's 11 one better.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
I don't know. The original's a Rat Pack, so he can't go against Sinatra,
right?
Yeah,
he's one of those guys. So,
but that's not necessarily saying the remake's better. You can still like them both, but just was it good?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He shook Sinatra's hand.
Sinatra?
He shook Sinatra's hand.
Impression?
Is it Ocean's 13 or Ocean's 11? I think it's Ocean's 13 where it's like
Ocean's 13. Yeah.
You shook Sinatra's hand. I shook Sinatra's hand. Or Sinatra. That's the off-brand, off Vegas, off the big. That's the off the Vegas
Sinatra.
Strip. Yes, Sinatra.
I think we should wrap this up. Justin's really
I'm losing it.
He's losing it.
Struggling here.
Jerry wrote in, sticking with horror, my favorite remake is the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think I only saw that one once too, and the original's quite a masterpiece. It didn't try to replicate the original, and Arlie Ermy was lifting it up as a really nasty villain. The 2006 Hills Have Eyes remake is also up there as one of my favorites. Worst remakes, 2010 A Nightmare on Elm Street and 2013 Carrie. I never saw the 2013 Carrie. Both are very unnecessary movies. So, Justin, I'm sure you probably haven't seen any of those.
Oh, they're my favorites. I don't know what you're talking about. I know the premise of Carrie, the premise of Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. Sorry, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but no, I won't watch any of those. Ken wrote in. Ken said 2 great ones and 1 awful one. First of all, The Thing, the movie, not the prequel titled The Thing or the sequel video game titled The Thing, is a great.
I remember that.
I forgot that was a video game too.
Yeah,
it's a great remake that just does everything right, making the original better in every way. I really need to see that. I have not seen that. Also great is Scarface, like Vinny said. It's special in a way as though it's one of the best movies in its genre. It is in no way replaces the original from the 1930s, nor gives a good reason not to see the original. They both stand out as strong stories, just in different time periods and cities, and can work together to make one multi-generational tale. The awful one, he says, is Jacob's Ladder from 2019. They just looked at the original and took nothing from it. It wasn't a new adaptation inspired by. It wasn't trying to do the original just better. It just failed at every level and felt like a waste of time for everyone involved. So there's Ken's thoughts. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I won't be adding Jacob's Ladder to my list of movies.
No, I just took it off mine too.
Zach writes in, my favorite remake is His Girl Friday, the 1940 remake of the 1931 movie. Oh, they didn't wait long to remake.
No, I thought this was bad now.
Yeah, the Front Page, which was based off a Broadway play. His Girl Friday is about a newspaper editor that wants his ex to write at the paper again and to ditch her new fiancé. It stars Cary Grant and has hilarious dialogue. Interesting. And then it goes on. The Front Page was also done in 1974 by one of my favorite directors, Billy Wilder, but I have not yet watched it yet. And then he goes on to say, I refuse to watch the Red Dawn remake. Did either of you guys see that?
I've never seen either. No,
never seen the remake. I've always wanted to watch the original, and I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, I have not seen the remake. Zach did ask if we had seen that. I think it was on TV, and I saw parts of it. I don't know. I haven't seen either the original or the new one all the way through, so I can't comment on it. On what it is. Are they facing Russians in the new one?
Yeah, I believe they've invaded, and I want to say it takes place in the Colorado Mountain, the Rocky Mountains.
First one, I thought that's where the first one took place.
That's what I'm thinking of, the first one. Then,
okay. So. But yeah, I hadn't seen both of them all the way through, so I can't. What was it? The Wolverines, was that their code name in the original?
I think you're right,
something like that. And then Zach finishes up by saying, I won't watch The Mummy with Tom Cruise because the Brendan Fraser movie is so awesome.
I forgot about the Tom Cruise one.
Mummy. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, see, I enjoyed the Mummy movies.
That either.
No, but I know supposedly that totally killed. They were going to do.
They were doing a multiverse
with the monsters. Yeah. The monsters properties, because there was somebody else chosen to be Dr. Jekyll.
It was Russell Crowe. He was in that movie. He played Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
And then they killed the whole thing because that Mummy movie was so bad.
Well, the next one really quick was supposed to be The Invisible Man, which ended up did coming out, but in a separate, it just became its own thing. But that was supposed to be tied with it too. So
interesting.
Yeah, that all just because they were going to do a Frankenstein and Dracula, that sort of thing. And it all just shit the bed after
pretty much
Tom Cruise Mummy came out. So
all right, who's Greg? Is this you?
Yeah, so Trent writes in, some movie remakes I like are 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close. She killed it in that role.
She did.
She was so good. The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, like we mentioned before. The Ring with Naomi Watts. Forgot that was a remake.
I've seen that.
You have seen that?
I have seen that. Yeah, that was all the talk in high school, so I had to see that. So
movie remakes I do not like. Well, the 2010 A Nightmare on Elm Street and the Disney live-action Aladdin and Lion King. Where are you guys at with the Disney live-action remakes? I just like to stick with the original.
I've never seen either of the new live remakes. I feel like I'm good with the cartoons. I don't need to see some newfangled thing.
Any of them, and nor do I try.
I don't really have any intention. No, not at all. Not at all. All right, who we got next? Caleb. All right, Caleb says my favorite remake is the Coen Brothers version of True Grit, which we talked about earlier. Excellent film, and everyone delivers a great performance. Thank you, Caleb.
Good job, Caleb.
Erica writes in, I love The Hills Have Eyes and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one with Jessica Biel. Hate When a Stranger Calls and Prom Night. Also loved Ever After over any of the other Cinderella movies.
I think, was Ever After the one with
the Hilary Duff?
Oh, I was going to say Drew Barrymore. I don't know. Maybe it is Hilary Duff.
Oh.
Hold on. You guys go
remember.
ahead.
I'll go to the next one. Sean writes in while you guys are looking that up. I try to avoid them at all costs. However, I'll give you one a lot of people don't know is a remake. Gone in 60 Seconds, the original from 1974, has one of the longest car chases in movie history. The 2000 Nicolas Cage one is good, but I like the original better. Wow, I forgot about that.
It's a remake.
Yeah.
Yes. That first of all, yes, it was it's Ever After 1998, Drew Barrymore, Angelica Houston, and Jeannie Moreau. I don't know who that is. But that Gone in 60 Seconds, the new one, is it necessarily a great movie? No, but it is like Nicolas Cage doing Nicolas Cage stuff. Like just some of his
Hold on.
What?
You don't like the Nicolas Cage?
No, I do. I said it's not great, but it's good. Like I like it.
Wait. It's not great?
I mean, it's Nicolas Cage. Can anything he does be really great?
Podcast. I'm gonna have to find another podcast to be on. Justin, you're killing me.
He's gonna have to go to his Bond podcast.
Movie.
I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but the dialogue isn't the best. That's all I'm saying.
The Nicolas Cage movie. The dialogue's always the best.
There's that one. I love that scene where they're getting ready to go steal cars, and he's like, "This isn't going to play for audio," but he's like. And like he does that thing before he goes, like he has to get into the movie.
Lowrider. Yeah,
yes, they're playing Lowrider. That's right. Yes,
he gets in the groove, and then he shakes and says, "Let's go." Yeah. It's great.
It's good. I mean, I'm not getting wrong. I enjoy it.
Come on, man,
you're killing me. Absolutely killing me.
Fair enough. I enjoy it. I'll put it that way.
Nicolas Cage is also making a movie where he's playing a fictionalized version of himself.
Nicolas
Cage, see that with like Pedro Pascal with like the Mandalorian in it.
He is fully embraced the crazy.
Oh yeah,
good for him. I love National Treasure. There are movies he's in that are Con Air. We've talked about Con Air. These are movies that are not good, but I love them.
Did you guys watch Willy's Wonderland?
No, I think Erica did.
Cage.
Is that the one where he's like, they're trying to kill him and he's inside like an amusement park thing or something?
Yeah, he's pretty much in like a Chuck E. Cheese, and the Chuck E. Cheese animatronic dolls come to life and try to murder him. Yeah, it's just fantastic. That is a good Nicolas Cage movie that got terrible dialogue because he doesn't speak during the movie. Not at all. Justin, you would actually like it because he doesn't speak.
Fair enough. It puts the bunny back in the basket. All right.
Gosh, you put the bunny back in the box.
Yeah. I thought he was going Silence of the Lambs there for a minute.
Oh no, it puts the lotion in
on his skin, or else it gets the hose again. I thought that was like the Buffalo Bill
that's a movie that scared the shit out of me. And I saw that as an adult, and it just creeped me out. Jeff wrote in, he said, Heaven Can Wait, which is a remake of Here Comes Mr. Jordan, is one of my 5 favorite films. Jeff, I have not seen those two, but I do like the Chris Rock remake, Down to Earth. So I'm sure those don't compare. I'm sure they don't compare, but yes, there you go. All right.
Hey, Shayla writes in, the Thomas Crown Affair remake is fire.
I know why Shayla likes that. Pierce Brosnan.
Braza.
I think I saw that one and I was disappointed by the movie because I was expecting a James Bond. James Bond because he was in it. I saw that movie when I was little, so I was like, oh, it's James Bond. It's another James Bond movie. I'm like, oh, this is about a paint theft.
Yeah, he steals a painting. Yeah,
that was a boring movie for me.
Yeah, so I've watched it, but I've never really I think I've always one of those movies I've turned off because I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go watch Goldeneye because it's better and he's James Bond. So, Jack writes in, loved Cape Fear, The Ten Commandments, and recently Nightmare Alley and West Side Story. I forgot West Side Story. Steven Spielberg did that. I
heard that was good.
Yeah, I seen I know West Side Story. I have no interest in seeing the movie. I heard it was good.
Yeah.
Hated Psycho. I'm assuming the Vince Vaughn one we mentioned earlier. Total Recall. I heard the Total Recall remake wasn't actually that bad, but
I heard that too.
Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like we mentioned before. So a little bit of hate for Tim Burton right there.
There you go. All right. You want me to take the last one from my mom?
Last one.
All right. My mom, Robin, wrote in. She said remakes she liked. She really enjoyed the A Star is Born with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, which, fun fact, I have seen that movie because my sister and I took her to go see it. We were trying to be good children and we took her to see it.
Guys.
So, was it good? It was okay. Whatever. But she enjoyed it. And I know she's seen the original too with
there's 7 remakes of this movie. There's a Barbara Streisand one and a Judy Garland one.
Barbara Streisand's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
So yeah, that's there you go.
Those are our remakes, boys. I think we covered it all.
We have solved all the world's ills,
and we are running out of steam.
We're running out of steam. Apparently, Gone in 60 Seconds has amazing dialogue. I don't know. I'm still shook about this, Vinny. I don't know how to feel about this.
I haven't seen it in forever.
I feel
I enjoy it, but I don't know if it's good.
Fantastic movie. All the cars in the movie.
Oh, the cars are great. The cars are great. Don't get me wrong. Yes.
What? Just because he listened to Lowrider?
No. I'm just no. Just some of the
terrible dialogue. He doesn't even speak.
Yeah. That's right. No, it's. I would
give him big rah speech or something.
No. I love the car aspect. I love the car chases. To me, I always felt that movie was a good bad movie. That's how I kind of Con Air would be a good bad movie. It's not
killing me right now.
It's a good I enjoy it. It's good. But is it a work of art? No. That's all I'm trying to say.
It is? Are you kidding me?
Are you watching it over the Snyder Cut?
I would watch that 10 times over the Snyder Cut.
I would
the amount of time that it would duplicate the running time of the Snyder.
I would definitely watch Con Air over the Snyder Cut. Yes, and I would probably watch Face Off over the Snyder Cut again.
Okay,
Gone in 60 Seconds, maybe. I don't know. Here's a good future topic: top 5 Nicolas Cage movies.
That's all right. Too hard. That's gonna be all of them. I can't narrow down my list.
Technically, he's in Fast Times at Ridgemont High as well. He plays one of the fry cooks. He doesn't have any lines, but he's in it.
Right. He's in Moonstruck with Cher.
Really?
You ever see that one?
Really?
No.
Yeah, that one was. I don't know why I saw that movie, but I did.
Well, you know what? I think we've reached the pinnacle of our show, and we need to call this a day.
I think it's time to close it out, Justin.
All right. Well, I'm looking at Nicolas. What? I'm looking at Nicolas Cage quotes. Sorry, I'm on a tangent here. All right.
What is this, a Chuck Norris website? Where
no, it's
all these,
famous Nicolas Cage quotes from the movie Drive Angry. I never disrobe before gunplay. Okay, Nicolas Cage.
Did I ever tell you your Obi-Wan accent?
This jacket here represents a symbol of my individuality and my belief in personal freedom. I don't know what movie that's from. I don't know. All right. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. It's time to go. We need to call this a night. Thank you for listening. If you're still listening, if you'd like to reach in and tell us what you think, maybe you want to tell me that Gone in 60 Seconds is Oscar worthy. Go for it. You can find us on YouTube.
Oscar worthy. Now you're just putting words in my mouth.
I'm just messing with you, Vinnie.
Oh, The Rock would be on my list. I love him. I love The Rock.
Oh, I do love The Rock too. I do love The Rock.
It's just another Bond movie.
It could be. That could be Bond. In his later days.
And then Nicolas Cage's 008. I don't know.
Sure they got fucked in the head.
Gosh,
all right. If you would like to watch the video version, search us on YouTube at Baseball and Whatever. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. If you want to hit us on the text line, that number is 1-913-808-3278. That number again is 1-913-808-3278 or fart. All right. You can tweet us at Baseball and What. You can reach us on Instagram at Baseball and Whatever. You can find us at Facebook.com/Baseball and Whatever. Email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com, or our official network email is Baseball and Whatever podcast at bellyupsports.com. You can find us on all of your podcast apps of choice, whether you use Apple, Spotify, Google, Anchor, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Addict.
Podcock. Ooh, that's a new one.
Any of those? Yes, Vinny? Yeah, I thought you were going to say something. Okay. And then lastly, don't forget, check out Belly Up Sports' website, bellyupsports.com. You can see the Roku TV channel app when our show will be broadcast there. And you can also check out their Belly Up Sports radio broadcast as well to see all their radio shows, which are there's some really good stuff on there. Don't forget, Tuesday we'll be speaking with the head broadcaster of the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, which is the single A team of the Chicago Cubs. That'll be a lot of fun. And then we might be appearing on some other podcasts in interview format, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, we will see you next week with another episode of Baseball and Whatever. Vinny, Greg, got anything else to add before I close it out?
I think it's time to go to bed.
All right. Cue the lowrider. Let's go steal some cars. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you next week.